Hey everybody, this is Erin Davis, therapist with Hands of Hope, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about why people don't report when they're assaulted. So just as a heads up, we're going to be talking about a really tender subject, and I want to make sure that you're getting the support you need. So if you find that this video is very difficult to listen to or it's overwhelming, stop the video and talk to someone you love and trust. And I'm going to make sure to give you some resources at the end of the video. But to start with, if you need to talk to someone about sexual assault, you can always call Hands of Hope at 765-664-0701. Or if you would like to get connected with someone to help you process that, you can also call Family Service Society at 765-662-9971. So today we're going to be talking about why people don't typically report when they have been raped or sexually assaulted. And while that can be a myriad of reasons, we're going to cover the most common, and we're going to use the resources that are reliable and available to us, starting with RAINN. RAINN stands for Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. They've been around for about 26 years, and they gather a lot of information about victims of sexual violence. One of the things to consider is that they run the National Sexual Assault Hotline, and they partner with lots of people around the United States to make sure that that hotline is always staffed. I also want to point out that their information is available in Spanish as well. So if English isn't your primary language, this website and resources are available to you in Spanish. So when we think about why people don't report, the primary reason is that our justice system has a very weird way of processing that. We know that the vast majority of perpetrators, so people who actually assault other people, don't go to jail. They don't get locked up. In information collected by the justice system itself, 230 actual perpetrators are reported to police. Only 46 of those are arrested. 9 of those actually go to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor is the person who gets to decide whether or not to pursue a conviction, which they may or not be able to get. They just get to decide what goes to court, which cases go to court. And then 5 of the cases that do go to court will lead to a felony conviction, and only 4.6, which sounds weird because, you know, that's not a whole person. Remember, these are averages, and only 4.6 of those people will be incarcerated. So when we look at this information, a lot of times victims feel overwhelmed, they feel alone, and they feel like nothing's going to happen, so why even try? It perpetuates a lot of hopelessness. When we compare it to other crimes, you'll see that things like robberies are reported at a much higher rate. Same with battery crimes, so assault that doesn't include sexual assault. And these higher rates still lead to low incarceration, but that low incarceration is still higher. So it's something to consider. If we look at this and we just get hopeless, the more we report, the more people will be incarcerated. Now, remember, we can only report if it is safe to do so. So when we look at reasons that victims choose to report or not to report, one of the primary reasons that they choose to report is to protect themselves. So you'll see there that 28% choose to report because the household or victim are aware that further crimes might happen. They're afraid that more damage may occur, so they make that report. And on the flip side of that, the same fear of something else happening can also prevent us from reporting. So you see that 20% of folks reported that they were afraid of retaliation, which is legitimate, especially when we see those low rates of incarceration. If that person is walking around free, it's very hard for us to feel safe to report, and it may in reality not be safe to do so. So I want to make sure that everyone knows you are your own professional. You know you best, you know your situation best, and we respect that. Just because we don't make a formalized report doesn't mean that we can't still connect with other people who have been through what we have been through and get the help that we need and deserve. Seeing someone to help you recover does not mean you have to make a report. If you come see me as a therapist and you tell me something has happened, I am not going to push you to report it. That is not how this works. I'm going to encourage you to know yourself and know what is best for you. And I'm going to help you explore what safety looks like, and not just physical safety, emotional safety. So then we can look at the other reasons that people don't report. And a huge part of it, again, is systemic. So if we believe that police aren't going to do anything else to help us, we're not going to report. And this is especially true when we look at intersectional identities. So people who are minorities absolutely are going to have a harder time reporting because police don't have a great relationship in those communities. 13% believed it was a personal matter. So lots of families function this way, where we say, oh, this is something for the family to take care of. And the problem is that person who perpetrated then typically doesn't get held accountable. 8% of folks reported to someone other than a police officer. And unfortunately, in most states, for something to actually happen, the report has to be made to a police officer. If you want to make a report and you're scared to go to the police station, you can contact us and we'll go with you. We have wonderful outreach advocates who are more than happy to support you while you make that report. 8% believed it was not important enough to report. In my professional life, I have found that that is often because we don't take ourselves seriously, or we don't understand the exact thing that happened to us. Sometimes things happen so fast that we are questioning ourselves and our sanity. It's also cultural, because a lot of times people minimize what's happened to assault victims. We're questioned about whether or not that's true, or whether or not we wanted it. I'm here to tell you that if you didn't want it, you didn't want it, and that what happened to you is real. So you get to decide what your reality is. 7% said they didn't want to get the perpetrator in trouble. And this is often connected to perpetrators being people we know and often that we care about. So it's most of the time an assault occurs by someone we already know. It's someone who we are typically in situations alone with, or that we, that's someone in our lives already. So that's something to consider, especially when someone tells us they've been assaulted and they say it's someone who is close to them. Do not blow them off. Do not say, oh, they wouldn't do that. That's not true. They would, and they do. So believe people when they tell you. 2% believe the police could not do anything to help. And there is some give and take with that. There are some situations where in reality, there is very little the police can do. And again, that's a systems issue. We need to fix that. We need to give the right people, police or maybe otherwise, the ability to do something about assaults. And then the majority gave another reason or did not cite a reason. And I, again, in my professional practice, find that people don't want to talk about why they didn't report, or often we don't know why we didn't report until we've had time to really process it. Because we have that innate fear that something may happen, or that we're wrong, or that we deserved it, or what other reason we've decided to tell ourselves so that we don't go insane. And we come up with lots of reasons because we feel like we're going crazy. You're not crazy. You are absolutely not crazy. So I appreciate your time today. I hope you found this information helpful. Again, there's lots more information from RAINN. It is also available in Spanish if you would be able to get that to people who may need that, or if you yourself prefer the Spanish translation. Get the help that you deserve. Get the support that you deserve. And we are here to help you. We believe you when you tell us what has happened. So again, some local resources for domestic violence, stalking, sexual assault. Hands of Hope is here to help and support you. So their phone number is 765-664-0701. And Family Service Society wants to help you recover in whatever way we can. and that phone number is 765-662-9971. Thanks for your time, and we believe you.